Yo, yo, yo! So, for those of you who don't already know, I am currently studying English literature. I have a job on top of that, writing for the school newspaper, so I literally have no time during my day. I'm constantly reading for school, writing for school. It's just, it's an endless hamster wheel of work. So, I never have free time to read for fun, but I still want to read for fun because I like torturing myself. Over the summer, I volunteered with the Salvation Army, and they ended up telling me to take a big, huge dumpster full of children's books to the dumpster. And I asked my manager, hey, is it okay if I take these instead? And so I ended up getting a whole bunch of free children's books. Instead of reading adult books during my free time, during the course of my schooling, I'm going to read children's books because they're mostly pictures, they take 2 seconds to read, and I can relive the nostalgia of my childhood. It's a win win. Everybody's a winner. So, this haul is broken up into three different sections. Category one is books that I have owned. I either lost my copy or I still have it and it's really, really trashed because I loved it and the spine is now basically tape. Category two is children's books that I always wanted to read as a child, but for whatever reason I never got the opportunity to. And finally, category number three is books that I didn't know existed when I was a child, but I saw them in that sad little dumpster bucket, and I figured, you know what, I'd probably like to read that when I was a child, so I'll read it now. So, first up in category number one is the Pokey Little Puppy. I was a sucker for Little Golden books when I was a kid. I had way too many Little Golden books as a child, and I distinctly remember absolutely loving, borderline obsessing over the Pokey Little Puppy. Next up, we have three Dr. Seuss books. First up, we have The Cat in the Hat. Who doesn't like The Cat in the Hat? Who hasn't read The Cat in the Hat? Then we have Hop on Pop and Fox and Socks, and I'm pretty sure Fox and Socks is my favorite Dr. Seuss. I know for a fact that my original copy of these books are just totally destroyed. I'm pretty sure my sister wrote in this one with crayon. I'm looking at you, Brittany. Made a bunch of artistic squiggles all over my books. Next, I have Frog and Toad All Year. I don't know why I liked it so much, but I do remember feeling really bad for Toad because he was like the stupid one out of both of them. And I felt really bad because even when I was a child, I was like, oh, Toad, you're the dumb one in the group, aren't you? Next, I have Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, which this is probably the reason why I like rhymes so much. Then I have two Mercer Meyer books, and they are I Was So Mad and Just Go to Bed. Next, I have Mouse Tales and Mouse Soup by Arnold Lobel. I don't remember what this is about. I haven't the foggiest idea. I know it has mice in it. Then I have The Best Teacher in the World, and I know for a fact that my copy is no longer in my possession. I think it got sold at a garage sale. Tear. Don't remember much, but I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's about the best teacher in the world. Just a guess. That's just a guess. Don't quote me on that. That's not an official synopsis, but I mean, I'm just using my mediocre deducing skills. So, I mean, what can I say? Then I have The Night Before Christmas. Once again, it's a little golden book. I remember I always wanted to own it, so this is kind of cheating because I don't think it was ever actually in my possession, but I know my grandma had it, and she wouldn't let me have it, I guess as like an incentive for me to come visit her so I can read it. That's really sad. Then I have Curious George Goes Camping, and I have a bind up. It's the treasury of all of the Curious Georges, but this one has how to make s'mores, and it has like campfire foods that you can make, and I'm a sucker for camping and I'm a sucker for food. Then I have In a Dark, Dark Room and Other Scary Stories. Don't remember all of them, but I do remember one distinct story. It was called The Green Ribbon. It was basically about a girl who her entire life she wears a green ribbon around her neck, and she won't tell anybody why. So she grows up, she gets married, she won't tell her husband why she wears it, and then she grows old and she's about to die, and her husband says, "Why are you wearing a green ribbon?" And she says, "I think I'm ready to tell you." So she takes it off and her head falls off. And it's stupid when I say it again, but I think when I read this, I was in kindergarten. It was Halloween, and all the lights were off to give it like atmosphere. So I'm sitting alone in the dark corner of the kindergarten room reading this book, which is a level 2. So I don't know if that means it's for second graders or what, but to this day, I remember being scared of that one story. So obviously, it was a little too advanced for my poor, innocent little brain. So moving on to the second group, which is books that I always wanted to read but never had the opportunity to. The first one is The Polar Express. Yes, yes, yes. I have never read The Polar Express. Next I have The Little Red Hen, and it has no cover. Oh my gosh. She looks so derpy. Look at this. Every picture. Oh my gosh. Like the first page, she's just like, derp. Then I have 2 Dr. Seuss books. Marvin K. Mooney, Will You Please Go Now? And Mr. Brown Can Moo, Can You? Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, which by the way, I just heard they're making into a movie. The other one is Alexander Who Used to Be Rich Last Sunday. Next I have The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter. I have If You Give a Moose a Muffin and If You Take a Mouse to School. Next I have 2 books that were arguably my favorite TV show, but I never owned the books, and that is Little Bear and the sequel, A Kiss for Little Bear. Then I have Just Say Please by Mercer Meyer, and I can already tell you that I don't own this because it says new. Then I have Casper, Friends Forever, and it's basically one of those books where they basically just take screenshots of the movie and then write the exact screenplay and dialogue underneath the pictures, but I took it. I'm gonna read it. It is what it is. Then I have Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and this is a specific edition that I remember always wanting to own. Then I have Glasses, Who Needs Them, Stinky Cheese Man, and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. Then I have Eloise by K. Thompson. Then I have Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Yes, yes, like Polar Express, no, I have never read Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And then finally, category number 3, books that I never heard about as a child. And when I saw them sitting in that sad little pile, I knew that if I was a child still, I would want to read them. So the first one is It's Mine by, I don't know if this is the same guy that did like The Hungry Caterpillar. Then I have The Snow Day, and I know nothing about this book, but I fell in love with the artwork style. Then I have A Rainbow of Memory, and I believe this is by the same man who did Corduroy, which was one of my absolute favorite children's books. That alone made me want to read this. Then I have The Invisible Moose. It's actually all done in watercolor. Next is one that's kind of humorous. It's called Diary of a Worm. On the back, he looks so pessimistic. Ugh. I feel ya, worm. I feel ya. Sometimes I'm a cynic too. It's okay. It's okay. Then I have Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. And then I have Hooper Humperdinck, Not Him. Next I have a book from the author of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I've never heard of this book. It's called Never Take a Shark to the Dentist and Other Things Not to Do. Then I have Bringing the Rain to the Kapiti Plain. And I know I'm pronouncing that right because there's a pronunciation guide in the back. So next I have Caddy and the Big Snow. All of this shiny right here is glitter that's glued to the book. And it looks like snow. It's really cute. And it says on the front that it comes with stickers, and I went, oh yeah, right. Whoever owned this before me took those stickers and they stuck them all over their bed and their mirror and their wall and themselves. And then I flipped to the back. There's still stickers. There's only one sticker missing. Then I have City Dog, Country Frog. Once again, I fell in love with the art. It's all done in watercolor. Then I have Claire and the Unicorn, and look at this. Tell me that that is not just like sickening sweet. It looks so adorable. Never heard of it, but I had to have it because it just looks so cute. Then I have Earl the Squirrel. Never heard of it, but it says down here that it's from the author of Corduroy, so I had to have it because anything that that man writes, I will read. Then I have Officer Burke and Gloria the dog. Then I have Poodleina. Look at it. Look at that dog. Oh my gosh. My favorite color is pink, and I know that if I had seen this as a child, I would have had to have it just because everything in this book is pink. I mean, it's like, good gracious, so much pink. And last, I have Substitute Creature. Once again, I saw this and fell in love with the artwork style. The artwork is just absolutely amazing. Then I have Nino Wrestles the World, and I'm guessing this is about a kid that wants to grow up to be Nacho Libre. And last but certainly not least, I have Knock Knock, and I know absolutely nothing about this because it has no synopsis. So I'm guessing it's going to be one of those books where it's mostly told through pictures. So those are all of the children's books that I plan on reading from now until December 15th, I believe, is when I get out. I'm just gonna, whenever I feel like reading something for fun, I'll come to this stack. It's a giant, I'm not gonna lift it because it's literally a mountain of really heavy books. So those are all the children's books I have to show you for today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you sometime in the future. Goodbye!